am Essence Edwards, and today I will be preparing my meal for the intermediate meal management class as Dr. Oki as the professor. I am very excited. Today I'll be making a Southern Night dish for my Southern Night Extravaganza theme. The appetizer would be a Caesar salad. The main entree would be lemon pepper breast, which is baked. And the sides would be mashed potatoes with a side of broccoli, and the dessert would be brownies, and the beverage would be iced tea. So I have already cleaned the kitchen with my cleaning agent, which was the Lysol wipes, and I also used some bleach as well. I have my gloves ready, my mask ready, and I also have my lab coat on. And just a little bit, you can see my pants, and here are my shoes. I can get it in there. Shoes. And now I'm just gonna start preparing my first dish, which is the salad, which is my Caesar salad. So I have my ingredients already. I have my sea salt, my pepper, my lettuce and everything, which I've already stated. Here are the ingredients that I will be using today. I also have my cutting board and my knife that I'll be using to cut up the heart of romaine lettuce. With making with the Caesar salad for the appetizer, I have my bowl, which I'll be mixing the ingredients in. I'll be having my measuring cups to put all of the ingredients in first. And first we're just going to mix the oils and the mustard and the different herbs together first with the salad. So first it calls for my modified version of the Caesar salad. Calls for 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'll be using the Pompian extra virgin olive oil, and I also have my teaspoons ready and my tablespoons so I can measure it out. So I'm going to be pouring in 2 tablespoons of the oil. So 2 tablespoons of the extra virgin olive oil going into my mixing bowl. And then I'm not using any anchovy fillet, so I'll move on to the next one, which is my 1 teaspoon. So I'll be using a teaspoon of the Dijon mustard, which I have right here. Sorry, I guess I should have known that it was not open before. Way to go thinking, Essence. Here we go. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. Should have made sure it was open first. But yes, I have the 1 teaspoon of the Dijon mustard that I'm going to pour into teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of it. Sorry you can't really see it, but 1 teaspoon of the Dijon mustard. And just make sure that it's evened out proportionally. I'm just gonna put it in the mixture of the bowl. one mixture of the bowl. Just gonna clean off the measuring with my Ajax. Right. So make sure that the spoons that I'm using are clean. So now we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. And this is the white vinegar that I'll be using. So using 1 teaspoon, of the white vinegar. And I'm just gonna pour it over. There we go. 1 teaspoon of the white vinegar is in. Next, we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of regular mayonnaise. So I'll be using this type of mayonnaise, real mayonnaise. So we have that. And it's going to go in the 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of that. Really need to. Since I have some mayonnaise open, I'm just going to use this one, which is still real mayonnaise. It's Duke real mayonnaise. So we're just going to use this one. So I'm just going to get again, a 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. Again, make sure that it's all evened out correctly. And then add it to the mixing bowl. Make sure that it's cleaned off before we use it again. So using my Ajax, once again, make sure I clean it off. We're going to be using our 1 teaspoon of salt, sea salt to be exact. So our 1 teaspoon of salt, which I have here, which is the high top sea salt. There we go. Put this to the side. Just gonna take off the top to it. Again, 1 teaspoon of the salt. season again. Make sure it's even out, distributed evenly. Add it to the mixing bowl again. Then we're going to use some ground pepper. And I have my ground pepper by McCormick that I'll be using. Also calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon. Make sure to use the correct amount. Again, using my handy dandy measuring tools to help as well. 1/4 in. And then we're going to next go ahead and add that's it. So we're good with the mixing. Now we're going to chop up the heart of romaine lettuce. Make sure all of this is right. I'm going to use a spoon just to kind of stir all the ingredients up. Make sure that's getting really stirred in there. Getting the mustard, the mayonnaise, and also the white vinegar, as well as the ground pepper, the salt. All that is mixed in. It should make a glossy consistency, which is it's making. After it is made glossy, have that. We're going to set this to the side. The rest of the instructions call for it to cut the lettuce into individual bite pieces. So I have my romaine lettuce that I got from our local grocery store. I'm just going to cut this up. Throw away any possible contaminants. So won't be anything left. Things. And I have my cutting board. Using a heart of romaine lettuce, which has been properly cooled in the refrigerator. So I have my romaine lettuce, and this is how it looks. It's a heart. We're just going to chop it up into bits and pieces. Making sure that the part of the lettuce is thoroughly cut right and everything. Just gonna rinse the lettuce off to make sure that there is no bugs or anything. Just to make sure everything looks right. And after that, we're just gonna cut it up into pieces. Mix the ingredients together and then add the toppings, which is the Parmesan cheese that is already cut. And we're gonna add 4 salad croutons. And that'll be it for the appetizer, which I am looking forward to seeing how the results come out. Then we're going to refrigerate it until it's time for my mother to come home from work and eat the food. So I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. Then we're just going to make sure, and I have my knife ready. So I'm just going to cut into a little bit of pieces. Make sure that it's thoroughly cutting. Small pieces, because you don't want big pieces in your salad. And everything. So just make sure the pieces are thoroughly cut. Thoroughly cut. Thoroughly cut. Sure it's good. It's very healthy and green. The romaine looks very good. You know, after the things is cut, we're just gonna add it to the mixing bowl here. And we're going to mix up thoroughly the ingredients that I had put in previously before, and my thoroughly mixed it up. We're gonna the dressings and the potato lettuce, and then we're gonna add in our Parmesan cheese, which should be good. And we're just gonna let this marinate for a little bit. You're just gonna do a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, so not a lot, since this is a salad made for one person, so it doesn't need to be, you know, a lot in there. That's it. I'm going to wash my hands because get another pair of gloves. Another pair of gloves I'm going to be using to add the Parmesan cheese to. Make sure this is good. We're using the Frigo Shea Parmesan cheese. And again, we're just going to add a 1/4 cup. So I have my measuring cup that I'll be using. Just want to thoroughly pour it in here. Pour it in here. The 1/4 of cheese. Here it is the 1/4 of cheese. Just gonna add that to the top. And then we're gonna add 4 of the croutons that we have. And we're just gonna refrigerate this and then start on making our chicken for this evening. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we're not using a lot of croutons because it's only for 1 person. And then after we have that, we're just gonna thoroughly mix everything in there together. And then let it marinate and sit, like I said, until she comes home. So it'll be nice and cool and it'll stay refrigerated until it's time to put this on the table for serving. And then here we are, again removing gloves after being used. Gonna throw them away. Just gonna put this in the refrigerator to be refrigerated. So we're back and we're gonna prepare the main entree now, which is the lemon pepper chicken, which is gonna be baked, and it's also a breast. And I also have my ingredients here, which I'm using lemon pepper seasoning, some chopped parsley flakes, my extra virgin olive oil. I'll be using my all-purpose flour here. And I also have some lemon juice, which is also being distributed into my little cups. So I've already took the initiative to go ahead and just measure them out already. And we have the cut boneless chicken breast right here, which has already been trimmed of the fat and everything. So first I'm just going to go ahead and mix together the flour with the lemon pepper seasoning. So I got my flour, gonna put that over here. Now I have my lemon pepper seasoning right here. So I'm gonna throw that in there. And I'm just going to thoroughly mix the flour with the lemon pepper seasoning to make sure it's a good coat on both sides of the chicken. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Just thoroughly put the lemon pepper on both sides so it is thoroughly cooked. Just going to make sure that everything is coated to the liking, that it's mixed up. Just make sure that it's coated all the way. Just make sure that's all mixed up. And spread it evenly on both sides so each side will look up to par. Then I'm just going to pour the olive oil onto my heating pan to make sure that is good. So it is evenly distributed with my lemon pepper and my flour. So next I'm just going to drizzle over the olive oil onto the heating pan. So I'm just going to do that. Make sure it's distributed even so the chicken will not stick more so onto the pan, and that'll be good for when I'm getting ready to bake it. Bake it. So it's evenly distributed, so I'm going to put it on the chicken onto the pan, and then I'm just going to place the chicken into the pan and cook 5 to 6 minutes per side, and it's going to take really about 30 minutes to cook. So every 5 to 6 minutes I'll be turning it over, making sure that each side is thoroughly cooked, because you want to make sure that the chicken does not have any pink sides to it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add the lemon juice and the parsley at the end. Also have some sliced lemons that'll go around it to give it a little bit of, just a thorough cooking. Well, make it to look, you know, reasonable. Well, make it add some jazz to it, I should say. So now I'm just going to place the chicken in the oven at 350 degrees. And again, I'm just going to be checking thoroughly to make sure that it's evenly distributed and on the back as well. And turn the chicken every 5 to 6 minutes. And then just going to wait for it. Again, it takes about 30 minutes to finish cooking, to make sure that all the right places are just evenly thorough out, so it's not any pink, and that it doesn't, you know, don't want my customer to get sick. So yeah, just gonna make sure that. And we're just going to add the finishing touches on it when the chicken gets ready. So I'm back again, and my lemon pepper breast is now fully cooked. It's been cooked for the right appropriate amount of time. Now I'm just gonna add the parsley and the lemon juice to it. So I have my parsley already weighed out. Just gonna put that on there. Make sure it looks really nice and thorough, and add the lemon juice to it. And now we're the finishing touches for the chicken breast. Just gonna move the camera so you all can see it. So this is the finishing touches of the lemon breast. Hope you can see it. And we're going to put the lemon slices around it once everything has been done with the other meals. Once it's done and topped with the lemon slices around it, just to give it a little bit of color to it. And that's it for the lemon breast. Now we're going to move on to our mashed potatoes, but we're going to put the lemon breast back in the oven and just keep it in there until the other parts of the meals are completed. Now we're going to peel the potato because we're making mashed potatoes. So I'm going to peel the potato and then chop it up and put it into my pan with the water already in there. And then after we get done with getting the potato already boiled and chopped into the pan, we're going to pour the milk, which I'm going to use almond milk. And I'm going to be using butter and a little bit of sea salt in there just to give it a little flavor. And then we're just going to mash it and then stir in some salt and the butter into it. So yeah, let's get cutting. So I have my one medium-sized russet potato, and I have my knife, and then I have my cutting boards where I'm going to be cutting and peeling on. So just going to get started with cutting. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be, you know, nice and cut so there's no peelings on it when you go ahead and cook the potato. And just make sure that all the skin is off of it. So when you mash potato, you won't have any of those shavings on it. And again, I have my gloves on to make sure I don't get any bacteria, germs on it, so that it'll be good. Just want to make sure that everything is cut really nicely, and then again just chopped. Again, just do it very carefully. And usually you can have like a little potato peeler, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just using a knife, and again doing it very carefully so I won't cut myself. And that it could be nice. And again, just going very slow so you won't harm yourself when cutting. You don't want that. It's the last thing you would need. But again, just going to use this one medium potato. Then have 2 tablespoons of almond milk of your choice. Use any milk of your choice, but I'm going to use almond milk. It's plant-based milk, so it's a little bit healthier. Well, not a little bit. It is healthier for you to use a plant-based milk other than the original milk that comes from a cow. So again, just making sure that the potato is peeled thoroughly and that there's no peelings when you mash it. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel the potato, then come back and show you how we chop it and then put it into the pan. So now I'm back and I've thoroughly peeled my potatoes. So now I'm just going to cut it into about quarter sizes of potato slices. And I want to boil it and put it in the water and boil it. And you just want to be careful cutting. Make sure you're cutting on a cutting board so you won't cut through your kitchen counter. So now they're cut into slices, and this is about quarter size slices, so cut into that. And then before I add them to the water, I'm just going to pour in a teaspoon of milk. Two tablespoons of milk. My apologies. Adding 2 tablespoons of my almond milk. So again, I'm using my teaspoon measuring spoons. We're going to put in 2 of these 2 teaspoons. Sorry if you can't see it, but it says 1 tablespoon, so we're going to use 2 of these. Just going to put it so this is 1. Just going to add it in. And then here's the second one. We're going to add that in. And then we're just going to let the potatoes simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to turn on the stove. And again, let these potatoes simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to set a timer to let me know when the 15 minutes is up. And then again, as I prepare for the broccoli, I use my cleaning agents to make sure that I am cleaning along the way and also preparing my dishes. So again, I'll be using the Ajax washing detergent to wash all my dishes with. And I'm using my Lysol wipes to clean off the counters, and also my other cleaning agent, which is the bleach, to make sure that everything is secured, cleaned off, and sanitized for the next step. So the potatoes are going to cook for 15 to 20 minutes. Then we're going to go in, mash the potatoes, and we're going to stir around the salt, and then we're going to top it off with butter in the end. So it's now been the full 15 minutes of the potatoes boiling. So we're now going to pour out the water that was, used to boil the potatoes, and we're going to put the potatoes in this bowl, and we're going to mash them. until they get good and mashed and not chunky. And then we're going to add the 1 teaspoon of butter, and we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then, yeah, so let's get to it. Let's make sure it's good and bubbly, all right. It's going to drain out. So we're going to drain out the water. So we're going to do that. So the water is fully drained out. We're just going to pour the potatoes in there. I have my 1 teaspoon of the butter, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of add that in there already. Usually you wait to the end, but we're just going to go ahead and just add it in there to make sure it gives some flavor. Again, we're just mashing up the potatoes. Make sure they're good and mashed. So you just want to make sure that they're good and mashed. It wouldn't be mashed potatoes if they wasn't, right? You're just going to add that 1/4 of teaspoon of the salt, and we're just adding a little bit because it does not need a lot to it. So yeah, I'm using my handy dandy measuring spoons, and we're just going to add that 1/4 in there. And then we're just going to continue to mash in it. And then you don't want to eat your mashed potatoes that are just already, more likely already just, you know, what should I say, hot. So we're gonna make it cool, make sure that it is good. So the mashed potatoes is complete for the meal. So now we're just going to go ahead and boil our broccoli. So we're gonna have the sides were mashed potatoes and steamed broccoli. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm back again after washing my hands, and I have a fresh new pair of gloves. Make sure that my mask is still on, you know, still practicing social distancing. So now I have my the broccoli that we're gonna make for the other side, which is our vegetables, and we already just did our starch, which was the mashed potatoes. So here I have the 1 cup of broccoli, and I made sure that the stems were cut. And make sure that the broccoli is the only thing that we're working with. And following the directions, we're going to have our olive oil, which again I'm using handy dandy, the Parmesan extra virgin olive oil, and we're also going to be using black pepper as well. So we already done cut away the strays or the large strings from the broccoli, of course, and we have our water boiling over here. Have our water boiling, making sure that's good. And we also are going to add in the broccoli and everything, and then we're going to add the olive oil and the teaspoon of ground pepper. So I'm going to add in the broccoli, which is make sure that it was only 1 cup. And then we're going to add in the 1 tablespoon tablespoon here of the extra virgin olive oil. So make sure we add in the 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Gonna add that to the pot. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ground pepper. You don't need a whole lot of seasoning, just a little bit. So I'm using the 1 teaspoon now of ground pepper. Then I'm going to wash out my measuring tools. So make sure that you thoroughly put in the ground pepper. Just make sure that it's all there. That is enough, and that you're not going overboard. So I have 1 teaspoon of the ground pepper. Going to add that in there, and then we're just going to stir it up with our spoon. Going to put this in with our dishes. We're using a spoon to make sure that everything is mixed all up. So we're just gonna hold that in there. And just allow it to cook for like 7 minutes. And you just wanna make sure that when it's cooked, that it's thoroughly done. And you do that by sticking a fork into the broccoli to make sure that it's soft enough. So we're just gonna allow that for a few minutes. 7 minutes to be exact. And then after we're done and everything is good, we're going to transfer it into a bowl. Then we're going to start making the brownies, which I'm excited to do. So it should get soft enough, so you just let it stir in the oil and the ground pepper to make sure that everything is good. So it's the seasoning for the ground pepper. The ground pepper is our seasoning. Just want to make sure that it's all thoroughly cooked. So I will come back. I will show you guys how it looks after the 7 minutes is done. Then we'll get right back started with our brownies, which will be baking homemade. So we're back again, and now the broccoli has been set for 7 minutes, and it is looking lovely. And just to test it out with the fork, you can stick it through, so that means that we're good. So you're just going to set the broccoli to the side to let cool. We're going to add it later on with our other ingredients. So now I have cleaned my table counter again with our wipes and everything. So now we're going to get ready for our dessert, and I'll be making a brownie for my mom. And it's going to be, you know, a little bit different with some different ingredients. So I have my pure vanilla extract. I have my unsweetened baking soda, which is cocoa. I should have said that first. I have my walnuts that I'll be adding to it, you know, just a little bit. I have my baking powder with reduced sodium. I have my unsalted butter that I'll be using instead of the regular filled with sodium butter. I also have some dark brown sugar, and I'll also be using regular sugar as well and an egg yolk. So to get us started, I'll be adding the butter to my pan, which I'm using this pan for today. And the package comes with 1 stick of butter, but we're only going to be using just a little bit of it, not a whole bunch. And we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of the butter. So I'm going to just cut 2 tablespoons worth of amount. Also have my handy dandy measuring sticks with me that I have misplaced. There we go. That I have gotten. There we go. So once you adding 2 tablespoons of salted butter. So I have my 2 tablespoons of the butter. Just gonna cut a little bit also using a knife too to have a stick with it. So this plays out to be about 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to add it to the pot. And what we're going to be using using our brown sugar cocoa powder into another small bowl. Then we're going to add it to the pot. So we're just going to melt this first. So I'm going to put it in the oven for a little bit, and it's already set on to 350 because that's what I'll be cooking on. It's going to melt the butter really quick. And then I'm going to use a small pan, which I have here. So a small little bowl, which I'm going to be using. And we're going to put in the brown sugar, the regular sugar, and the cocoa powder. So brown sugar, cocoa powder, and we're going to be using two tablespoons of the brown sugar. So just going to go ahead and wash out my tablespoon and teaspoon full real quick. Make sure that's thoroughly washed. I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar. I have the brown sugar here, so just going to make sure that I use a little bit of it, not too much because we don't need that much. It's going to be using 2 tablespoons, so I'm going to pour some in here. So 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar. If it will come out. Okay. There we go. So we're adding the 2 tablespoons. Here we go. Pour it in there. That's 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. Then I'm going to be adding another one into it. And then that's a little bit of it. So that's just 1 of the brown sugar. I'm going to close that up for now so you don't have to use it again. Then we're going to be using our 1 tablespoon of sugar. So again, I'm going to have to wash out my handy dandy teaspoon maker and just put it in there. So just gonna wash this out back again and then add in our sugar and then our powder. Using 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then we're going to use 1 tablespoon of the cocoa powder. So I have my little scoop that I have of sugar, but I'm also going to put it into my tablespoon to make sure that it's thoroughly cooked right. So 1 full tablespoon of sugar, and then we're going to rinse this out and clean it again, and then we're going to put in our 1 tablespoon of our sweetened cocoa. So now I'm going to add cocoa, baking cocoa. Sometimes these packages are real hard to open. There we go. Looks good. Now 1 tablespoon of cocoa. Then we're just going to smooth it out. Here we go. I'm just going to add that in there. Then what we're going to do is stir it up. I'm going to use a spoon. Just going to thoroughly mix that together. And it should still be brown, obviously, because of the cocoa powder. Make sure that it's mixed all the way good. Then we're going to get our pan back and we're going to pour it into our pan with our melted butter. Then it's highly melted, but make sure you have something to get the pan out with. So the pan already filled with the melted butter that we have. So then we're just going to add the melted butter. No, add our mixture with the melted butter. Mixture with the melted butter. And then we want to use our egg. Want to use our egg, so make sure that we crack it. Put that in there. You want to set it to the side. Then we're going to use our water and our vanilla extract. So we're going to have 1 tablespoon of water and 1 teaspoon of our vanilla extract. So again, thoroughly cleaning. Now I'm just going to use 1 tablespoon of our water. Just want to add that in there. Then going to use our vanilla extract. And you don't need a lot. Just 1 teaspoon since we're making it for 1. And this is all homemade brownies. Usually some people would, use the box, but we were trying to make this as healthy as possible. To not use, all the added sugars and sodium. So we're just gonna do it this way. And hopefully my mom likes the meal. It's my first time actually making a full course meal by myself, so we're just going to see how this goes. So I'm going to use the 1 teaspoon, which I have right here. Pour that in there. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then we're going to use our walnuts now, which I'm excited to use. We use our walnuts. It's going to be 1 tablespoon of our walnuts. This should be fun. You're using 1 tablespoon of walnuts. So just gonna put the walnuts in there. Again, you just only need 1 tablespoon. So we're just gonna put 1 tablespoon of the walnut. Then next, after we have all of that, we're just gonna stir it with a spatula, which I have my handy spatula here. I'm going to use it. And don't mind it, it's just a little old, but it's very clean. Just going to whisk it, but do not over mix. And then we're going to pour our batter into our little pan. We're going to bake it. So this should be really good. Just going to whisk and whisk. But do not over mix it. Make sure it's good. Says do not over mix, so it should look like a batter. So just make sure all of this is mixed in, because we're just making 1 single brownie. And then after that, it should be looking really whisk, but not too whiskey. Just gonna let you see it. So it should look something like this. You know, a little glossy, but not too bad. Not too overmixed, and that's what we're going to do. Then we're going to pour it into our pan. And then we're going to top, if we would like to, some walnuts on the bottom. But then I'm going to put it into the pan, let it cook for like 15 minutes. And then 15 to 20 minutes, then I'm going to come back. And then we're just going to let the brownies cool. So now I am back. My brownies have cooked the full amount of time, and now I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. So I plan to like do my dishes around 4:30. So I'm going to start cleaning up, and then I'm going to start preparing the table. And again, I'm going to lay out how it's going to look and everything. And the food is coming out really nicely, and it looks really great. So after I get done cleaning, I will show you how I set up my table and how I'm cleaning and everything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the dishes, which I'm using again my Ajax and my bleach as well to clean up the counter and to clean up the table. And I'm using my wipes as well to clean up the table and the countertops for my for the final presentation. So stay tuned, and I will show you how I set up this table to make it look very presentable. So I am back from washing and putting away the dishes. So now I'm going to make my beverage, which is going to be sweet iced tea. I already have my Lipton tea bag, which I'm going to be using, and I also have my measuring cup to put the water, and also my glass to put the water in as well. And we're going to be using 2 teaspoons of sugar. So I already have it weighed out for my 2 teaspoons of sugar. So I'm just now going to add it into the cup. And now I'm going to pour my water that I already boiled into the cup, measuring cup. And I'm going to do it till it says 1 cup full. Make sure I'm not going over. So it is 1 cup. And now we're going to add it to our glass cup here. Then we're going to place the tea bag in the cup for about 4 minutes. Then we're just going to let it sit for this 4 minutes, and then we're going to stir the cup around, stir the tea bag and the sugar together. So I have a spoon, so I just want to make sure that it's in there. Then we're just gonna let it sit for about 4 minutes. And then we're gonna allow it to refrigerate. Again, I am a little bit ahead of time since I got finished early with my meat and my sides. It didn't take as much time as I thought, as well as washing the dishes. So it's just shy of 5 o'clock, which now I'm just gonna get ready to prepare to get my decorations set up. And I already cleaned off the counter, and I already cleaned off the table for where I'm going to set it up. So I'm going to have my decorations set, and once it gets around 5:30, just going to make sure that everything is put into place on the table, the decorations. And when 6 o'clock hit, I'll be ready to serve. My mom should be home and already in her clothes. So this is the finished look, and this is the decorations. This is my mom. She's going to be trying out the appetizer, her dessert, got her beverage, and she has her main entree, her 2 sides, broccoli, and her mashed potatoes. So the moment of truth, mommy. Go ahead and taste away. Okay, so Dancing notion she likes the potatoes. And she's gonna try broccoli. Let's see if it's seasoned well.
It is.
Okay. And she's gonna try her lemon pepper. So we're gonna see how that tastes. Okay, so it's cutting good, Drew.
Very tender.
Okay. She says tender. Alright, gonna see how it tastes.
Very good.
Okay. Then she can take a bite of the salad. You use your other fork. Yeah. And you can, that's a Caesar dressing. You go with her Caesar salad. Okay. And you see I put it out to her liking so she can drizzle how much ever she wants on there.
Lettuce is nice and crisp.
Okay. And then if you could just take a little teensy bite of your brownie.
Okay. Very good, very moist.
Okay. And then last but not least, some of your beverage, which is the sweet and iced tea. Moment of truth.
Very nice, not too sweet.
Okay. So that concludes the meal preparation for class